Hello everyone. Today we are going to start up with the lesson number 2, the age of revolutions. Now before proceeding up with the lesson, you must know the meaning of the word revolution. Here, the word revolution means an attempt by a large number of people to change the government of a country, especially through a violent action. This is known as revolution. Now, let us discuss the objectives of the lesson. So, the main objectives of the lesson are number 1, to know about the American Revolution. Second, establishment of the British colonies in America. Third, the causes of the American Revolution. Fourth, the great thinkers and the philosophers. Fifth, beginning of revolution. Sixth, the War of Independence. The seventh, impacts of the American Revolution. Now, here in this lesson, we are going to discuss about the two revolutions, the American and the French Revolution. So, first of all, the time period of these revolutions were from 1775 to 1848. Now, first of all, we are going to talk about the American Revolution. American Revolution, the other name of the American Revolution is the American War of Independence. And this was started in 1775 and ended in 1783. And in 1783, the treaty was signed. Basically, the American Revolution was between these two. The first one were the Patriots or the Americans, and these were supported by the French Empire, and on the other hand, there were English and the Loyalists. Now, the Americans, the Patriot Americans were the ones who wanted the freedom from English, and here the Loyalists were living in America but loyal to the British rule. Now let us start up with the reading. Revolution refers to a drastic change in the society. Drastic means the radical and extreme. Change in the society which has an impact. Impact means influence on the social, cultural and political spheres of life. The age of revolutions denotes the period from 1775 to 1848, and during this period many revolutionary movements took place. The most important among them were American and the French revolutions. Now, in the further lesson, we are going to talk about these two revolutions. The American Revolution ended the colonial rule in America. Now, the colonies were formed at that time, and total 13 British colonies were there in America. And the word colonies means the areas that are ruled by another more powerful country. That is known as colony. Now the next. While ended the colonial rule in America and established a democracy. Now here the word democracy means the government by the people, for the people and of the people. Or one more definition is there of democracy that is given at the top of your lesson in the key terms. Democracy, a form of a government run by the people directly or through their representatives. Now the next. While on the other hand, the French Revolution overthrew the monarchy. Monarchy means a form of a government where the head is king or queen, and made France a republic. And the word republic means the head of the country is directly or indirectly elected by the people. Now, let us start with the American Revolution. Hello everyone. Now today we are going to continue with our topic, the American Revolution. Basically, first of all, the other name of American Revolution is the American Revolutionary War, and the second name is American War of Independence. And the time period was 1775 to 1783. Basically, the American Revolutionary War was fought between the Kingdom of Great Britain and 13 British colonies in the North America. From the years 1775 to 1783. And American Revolution was a long-term phenomena. Basically, at that time, in Europe, there was a rule of a queen, or you can say there was a monarchy system. Monarchy system means the form of the government in which there is a rule of king or queen. So at that time, there was a rule of a queen in Europe. So at that time, many of the white settlers crossed the Atlantic Ocean and reached the eastern coast of America. So now let us begin up with the reading. The American Revolution is also known as the American War of Independence. It was first organized political movement in the modern history. There were 13 British colonies in the North America at that time. Now the word here is colonies. Colonies means the areas that are ruled by someone another or more powerful country. That is known as colony. They rejected the rule of the Parliament of the Great Britain. The Parliament means the law-making body. The people fought for their rights and finally achieved independence. And here the word independence means freedom. Now, how these British colonies established in America? Before starting up with the reading, let's discuss few important points. Basically, from 1600, the colonization started, and till 1776, the process of colonization continued. So you can say that many of the British colonies were settled in America gradually or slowly. So the very first colony that was set up by English, it was set up in the year 1607. And the first colony that was set up by the British in America was Jamestown in Virginia. Now here you can see the map on the next page. Here we are having Virginia. So in Virginia, the first British colony was set up. Now let us start up with the reading. Establishment of the British colonies in America. Columbus discovered America in 1492 CE. France, Holland, and England started establishing their colonies in America. From the 17th century onwards, people started settling there. They were mostly from the parts of the European countries, and they came there to escape the racism, poverty, religious persecution, or criminal charges. Now the word racism here means discrimination directly against someone of a different race based on belief that one's own race is superior. The next word is religious persecution, that is the systematic mistreatment of a group of individuals as a response to their religious belief. So as a result, 13 colonies were established in America along the eastern coast of America. A majority of the settlers were from England. These colonies began to be controlled by the British Parliament. And here you can see on the map, all these colonies were controlled by the British Parliament. Now, the next part, the 13 British colonies. So basically, the first colony we had already discussed was set up in 1607, and gradually till 1732, 13 colonies were set up in America by the Europeans or the British. Now just have a look. Southern colonies. At first the British established means set up their settlements in the south The climate and the soil of this area was suitable for the agriculture. Therefore, the settlers established there the large farms. These farms were cultivated by the slaves. Slaves means gulam, or you can say a person who is the legal property of another and is forced to obey them. The settlers became prosperous and established more colonies in the south. These included the 5 colonies that were Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. The next is northern colonies. The people who settled in the northern colonies were known as Puritans. They came to America in the search of freedom to follow their own form of Christianity. They were hardworking people, they led very simple lives, and the northern colonies developed as a manufacturing and shipping centers. There was no requirement of the slaves in these colonies. So in the northern colonies, there was no need of the slaves. These included the 4 colonies that were Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and New Hampshire. The next is the middle colonies. People from all over the Europe settled in these colonies. However, Britain gradually took control over all the colonies. Gradually means slowly. These included the 4 colonies: New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. Now you can have a look on this chart. Means overall 13 colonies were set up in America. The first one was Virginia in the year 1607. Next, Massachusetts in 1620, New Hampshire in 1623, Maryland in 1634, Connecticut in 1635, Rhode Island in 1636, Delaware in 1638, North Carolina in 1653, South Carolina in 1663, New Jersey in 1664, New York 1664, Pennsylvania 1682, and Georgia in 1732. Now you can see from the map also. These all were the 13 colonies of the British that were set up in America. And the colonies that were in the northern part were known as the northern colonies. The colonies that were in the center, they were termed as middle colonies, and terms that were towards the south, they were known as the southern colonies. Now, I hope this topic is clear to you all.